Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mythic bringing you guys another video. And the Arizona Cardinals this Saturday are set to play their final preseason game before week 1 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this should be a really fun one. The Raiders are potentially playing their starters. We'll talk about that in just a second. And the Cardinals, that might be up in the air. It might be finalized. We'll also talk about that. Give you guys all the insights, all the little tidbits. But if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL content. Shorts will be coming soon. Also, I stream on Bleacher Report, post content on Bleacher Report. Look me up, Mythic AZYT on the Bleacher Report app. You'll find more Cardinals content there as well. But this is where we're posting normally. So if you guys want, hit subscribe. We are almost at 9,000 subscribers. But let's go ahead and talk about this. This is the final preseason game, final matchup. There's a lot to discuss. So let's roll into this thing. Pulling up this article from Arizona Sports, we see that the only projected starters for the Arizona Cardinals who will play are Will Johnson, Akeem Davis-Gaither, two newcomers to the team who are trying to just find their footing and get those reps to become more comfortable. It says for Johnson, it was a learning experience after getting dinged for his second penalty in many weeks. So we got to see what both of these guys got. Will Johnson has looked pretty solid. You see the technique is there. He is jamming people. He's getting comfortable finding that footing. It was a little rough for the first drive, which is literally 20 yards facing your own end zone. But after that, he kind of got his footing down. You want him to find that because he's most likely going to be the team starting corner. So you hope he adjusts to that. And Akeem Davis-Gaither is probably going to be the other inside linebacker opposite of Matt Wilson. You want both those guys to be comfortable. As you guys see, the game, a big piece. It absolutely is. Jonathan Gannon said Thursday, I think guys that are playing, they're playing for roster spots. They know that. They're excited for the opportunity, and they'll play well. A lot of eyes will be on the hot spots on the roster, as you guys see right above that. Despite not seeing the starters on Saturday, this year's exhibition slate still saw more snaps from them than in previous season under the current regime. So at the end of the day, we might not see them more than what we already did, which is okay. It really is okay. I would have liked to see them play two, maybe play the first and the second, then you rest in the third, or the first and the third, get them out for a drive, a quarter, but it is what it is. Don't want them banged up, don't want any unnecessary injuries. So we're kind of just chilling for real. Like, a lot of veterans aren't playing. We're going to find the continuity early on in the season. Hopefully everything just clicks. Practice, training camp, that's what that's for. Preseason, we're chilling. I think the offense had a good showing. Kyler had that egregious interception, but he literally threw it no look. So I was very upset with how it looked before the tape came out, and then you saw it was literally a no look, just throw, terrible. But you know, you're trying things, you're practicing, so I'm not really worried about that interception whatsoever. I think it was overblown by myself included. Going to Sports Illustrated, you guys see on the Cardinal side, it's still trending, but similar to last week. That's what Jonathan Gannon said. He also said that the Cardinals sat their starters last week against Denver after conducting a practice. I'm glad. I'm really glad this joint practice happened because the one-on-ones, we played one of the best defenses in practice. Those are live reps. Those are kind of like a preseason game. That's a lot better than the matchup, and nobody walked away injured. So that's what we like to see. That is fantastic, and we're going to see Clayton Tune playing a majority. Jacoby Brissett might play just like he did last time, but for a drive. You don't want anyone getting hurt. That is unnecessary. You want to see all these guys compete for roster spots. So I'm not mad at this at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens. Jonathan Gannon, when it's about Clayton Tune, when there's people in his face extremely fast, that shouldn't be the case. Hard to play quarterback when people are in your lap before you hit your back foot. We got to do a better job. Agreed. But Clayton Tune has looked bad. Jonathan Gannon's not going to flat out just come and say that, but he wants to see him elevate, and we're going to see what happens. Like we already kind of read, this game's a big piece. It absolutely is. I think the guys that are playing, they're playing for roster spots, so they're excited about the opportunity, and they'll play well. Names like Elijah Simmons, you got Darren Hall, you got Elijah Jones, Denzel Burke, you have you have Michael Walker, you have Cody Simon, you have a lot of people on this D-line and O-line. Christian Jones and Hayden Connor might not start the season healthy, so you have people really coming in here and fighting for that last roster spot. I think a lot of linemen are playing for spots right here, and we'll see what ends up happening. Now, flipping to the Raiders side of things, here's what the depth chart looks like. So we're going to see the starters. So this is what their offensive line is going to look like. Colton Miller, Dylan Parham. You also have Jackson Powers or Alex Kappa. Those are the names that stand out offensively. Brock Bowers obviously is insane, shares my last name. Shout out to him. I'm not bald yet, thank the Lord. But maybe I trend that way, and that's literally my twin in him for real. Who knows? Jacoby Myers could be a sleeper receiver this year if you guys play fantasy. Ashton Jeanty, going to be interesting to see what he does against our second stringers. Geno Smith is Geno Smith. We can't avoid him, even in preseason. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback, but it is what it is. Defensively, this is kind of where, I don't know. The Raiders are such a weird team, man, because they are just gritty And they have names like Devin White, who they signed in the offseason, Jalen Smith, Max Crosby, Adam Butler, Jermaine Pratt. Like, their linebackers are very interesting. The secondary is a little iffy. Jeremy Chin. You just have some interesting names. Raiders fans, you let us know who we're really supposed to keep an eye on, who's competing for roster spots, and what pops out to you. I'm not super in-depth with the Raiders side of things, but what I do know is that the Raiders are going to play their starters per Raiders Resistance on Instagram. Update: the Raiders head coach, Pete Carroll, who is an absolute legend, coach in our division. I have not the ego to admit that. Pete Carroll is an absolute legend at the end of the day, and he's confirmed it, that the Cardinals will see the Raiders starters. We kind of talked about that. I kind of gave that away in the last thing I was talking about with the whole depth chart, but we're going to see. We're going to see what happens with what we're looking at. Is our secondary able to hold their receivers? I don't think their receivers are that special. Ashton Jeanty is the focus. Geno Smith has a very good deep ball. Are we able to contain? Will Johnson is going to get solid reps. I'm very interested to see how the secondary looks. I think the only two people who will probably be guaranteed spots is Akeem Davis-Gaither, Keitrell Clark, and then you also have Will Johnson. Everybody else is really competing for spots at the end of the day. So we're going to see their starters, and it's going to be crazy. I'm very curious to see, because Clayton Tune, if he is starting the entirety of this game, is probably going to get rocked. Max Crosby, the O-line has not looked fantastic, the backups. So if Max Crosby's wrecking havoc, if this D-line is wrecking havoc, where they had Christian Wilkins, but dude was freaking out, like legitimately just being a little freak ball, kissing people on the forehead, supposedly. Don't know what Christian Wilkins was doing, but he got cut. So Raiders fans, you let me know as well what happened with there, because dude was a freaking freak ball. Even dating back to Clemson in college, dude was a little freaky. But you guys do see Kissy74, the top comment. Let the secondary play all game. They need the work. Let's scroll through the comments a little bit and see if we can find any tidbits. Pete never played the starters in Seattle. That's very interesting too. Can Cam Miller get some time? AOC is trash. Let Cam play. I'm assuming that's Aiden O'Connell that the Raiders want to see. So you guys let me know who you guys want to see down in the comment section below. Raiders fans, Cardinals fans, little tidbits. What are you looking for? But the Raiders are giving their starters a full go, and the Cardinals are not. So it's very interesting, but let's see what happens this Saturday. Final preseason game. With that being said, that is going to wrap it up. If you guys are new to the channel and end up enjoying today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. If you like the Arizona Cardinals, if you like the NFL, no reason you shouldn't hit subscribe. 9,000 is almost here. Let's hit it before the season starts. We are 43 subscribers away. Press that button. I know there's 43 of you out there who are not subscribed. Press that button. Let's hit 9,000, man. It is very appreciated. It is much love for me. You guys have been going crazy with training camp. We have grown so much, almost 500 subscribers in the last month. So really appreciate you guys. We are locking in, taking this super serious. Let's hit 10K by the end of the year, but 9,000 before the season starts. Those are what I got, the little tidbits for this game. Hopefully you guys walked away learning something. And if you want to inform us in the comment section below, Raiders, Cardinals fans, you drop those comments, the players you want to see, players we should be watching out for, and position battles you're looking ready for. But with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, man. It is much love, man. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.